How to conquer anxiety and depression, developing nerves of steel. With technological advances having catapulted us into the future, we now understand there are multi-dimensional elements that lead to mental illness. There is no doubt that individuals with acute cases require immediate professional help. I would like to propose, however, that there are milder forms of anxiety and depression we all experience, which are, in most cases, manageable or even curable through holistic intervention in combination with drugs and psychotherapy. We could even reframe milder forms of mental disease as comfort zone mental dis-eases. Comfort zone mental dis-ease refers to psychological and mind and body tension that causes us to feel uneasy or as though we're not ourselves. The two main categorizations are depression, feeling low, having little direction or enthusiasm for life, and anxiety, feeling edgy, lacking confidence, or feeling nervous in situations where others seem confident. I believe that what we're actually experiencing in these states is a push from within to get out of our comfort zones. When you condition yourself to go outside of your comfort zone expands, leading to a continuous exploration of boundaries and limitations. We humans are designed to explore, engage, and face danger. If there is no danger, our highly active endocrine, hormones, and nervous system still create massive amounts of energy, which can lead to depression and anxiety. Just as our brains crave learning, our muscles crave exercise. These systems of our bodies crave stimulation. Understand your fear, anxiety, and depression and other related symptoms. Your unease and feelings of vulnerability are not a curse or disadvantage if you know how to use them. These feelings could be a message from within, letting you know life has become stagnant and you need to mix things up. Look at them as the initial spark that precedes the courage and confidence necessary to create art, help other people, and better yourself. People use drugs, prescription or recreational, food, workaholism, and many other distractions to suppress their naturally high energy. Everyone, including me, falls into the trap of thinking they're meant to feel nice all the time. However, there's no question that the world has many bitter, unfortunate, and potentially dangerous components to it. It's certainly not a bed of roses. Countering the mind and body's natural inclination towards anxiety and depression requires the development of courage and confidence. Confidence is cultivated through acts of courage, meaning in situations in which you face your fears. You cannot be courageous without feeling fear. If you hide or suppress fear, you can't gain the rewards that come with overcoming the emotion. Don't label yourself as a scared or anxious person. Instead, acknowledge that you are simply experiencing the emotion of fear. And once you have done so, you can turn that fear into excitement. And eventually, as you expose yourself to challenging circumstances, confidence. When it comes to anxiety and depression, intervention and even prevention is all about exposure. A better term for exposure therapy would be exploration therapy, because you're constantly exploring your own boundaries. Anxiety and depression can be speculatively described as cultivated fear that's not channeled and expressed naturally. Depression is a clear message from within that you need to spice your life up. Your mind and body crave new experiences. They want to continually make new connections and experience the possibilities out there in the endless playground that is our world. The 7 foolproof ways of utilizing negative energy, transforming so-called negative vibes into strength, endurance, and creativity. Number 1, run like a exercise. We all know what it feels like when anxiety hits. That shuddering through your knees, butterflies flapping around in your stomach, heart racing, adrenaline running through your bloodstream. Though we experience different levels of it, we all know what it is to feel anxiety. Remember that anxiety is a type of energy, and energy needs to be expressed, not confounded. If you can exercise, opt for some push-ups or run on the spot. However, prevention is always better than intervention. Schedule daily exercise for yourself, endurance and/or strength training that suits your current ability. In your ongoing routine, you want to push for passing your perceived limits. The further you exceed your limitations, the more you'll be rewarded in euphoria. Pushing our bodies physically burns energy and utilizes our endocrine and nervous systems, taming our emotions. My 2 dogs are great examples of this. They're both rescues, so they come with a bit of baggage, don't we all? Anxiety, antisocial behavior, aggression, etc. It can be an absolute nightmare to take them places or have company over, unless I have already burnt them out, mentally and physically, with long walks, playing fetch, hiding the ball in the woods, and so on. They, like us, are animals built for the bush, as we call it in South Africa. Our minds and bodies are not far removed from cavemans. We are designed to push our physical bodies and mind to the extreme on a regular basis. This regulates hormones and tames the flight and fight response. Number 2, face your fears, exposure therapy. For this, you need to face whatever you're personally afraid of. If you're afraid of heights, go climbing. If you're afraid of water, go swimming. If you're afraid of publishing your work, write a piece like this one. Personally, I'm afraid of heights. If I'm standing there at the edge of a rooftop with no railing, every cell in my body wants to drop to the floor and cling on for dear life. It's my fight and flight response kicking in. And when it comes to heights, there's only one option: flight. To use this powerful energy, I regularly go to the climbing center. There you can start off on an easy climb and progressively work your way up to more challenging climbs. At the more difficult levels, you will eventually reach a point where you feel overwhelmed and helpless. This is the point where you feel your arms tiring, your fingers losing their grip. You're looking up at your next move, which seems impossible, and then looking back down and realizing how high you are. The fact that you're clipped in with a harness, rope, relayer doesn't prevent the emotion from fear from nearly paralyzing your body. This is the point where you shout down to your partner, relayer, "Okay, I'm coming down now, I've had enough." But if you're with an experienced climber, they will say, "Just take a minute, get your breath back, and give it a go." So you block everything out, focusing all your attention on your next move, locking it in, breathing deeply. Then with a leap of faith, power, and courage, you have a breakthrough. With the determination and focus, you conquer a state that threatened to disable you. Once you walk out of there, you'll feel like a boss on steroids. Obviously not advised. Number 3, volunteer. Find a cause that challenges you. Helping people less fortunate than yourself will instill in you a deep gratitude for how blessed you really are. There was a time in my life when, to put it mildly, I went through a psychological breakdown. I wanted something good to come out of it. So in my deepest, darkest hours, instead of focusing on little old me, instead of isolating, loathing,
self-medicating,
I went in search of a cause that resonated deeply with me, but challenged me at the same time. This immediately took me outside of myself, turning my focus from my own shame and sorrow to uplifting others. Finding a cause and voluntary service is easy. There are many great services set up to support people who need guidance. You can even just help a friend. Joining any form of volunteering organization will educate you, help you develop a sense of meaning and purpose beyond yourself, and connect you to a community of real-life superheroes. Number 4, get deep. Pursue an artistic talent or learn a new skill, thus allowing your mind and body to make new connections. Physiologically expressing your creative side helps you keep balance. Number 5, search for your sense of humor. Don't take life too seriously. Instead, find the funny side. Watch comedies, crack jokes, play pranks, and take the piss. Laughter lightens the soul and makes the world a brighter place. Number 6, become aware of your mortality. Every time you get worried, depressed, or anxious, remember our time here is short. From an evolutionary perspective, it's gone within the blink of an eye. Watching a clock tick, you realize it's somewhat of a countdown timer. Don't waste a minute. Time is truly our most precious commodity and a sacred gift. Number 7, play. All pack animals play. It keeps their performance at its peak. Even more importantly, it increases the social connection of the pack. Dolphins play in the waves, jumping and spinning, out-maneuvering each other and dancing through the waves. Lions, wolves, and dogs play fight, and monkeys monkeying around. This may just look like simple fun, and it is fun for them, but it additionally bonds them and improves their performance as a collective unit, which comes into play, pun intended, when they're hunting. This in turn increases their chance of genetic survival. I believe playing as a group is what life is all about. Supportive, well-connected family and friends are imperative to individuals' overall well-being. We, ultra-social pack mammals, are designed to connect deeply and play. The mind and body will become susceptible to emotional and psychological dis-ease without an adequate amount of challenge in life. On the other hand, you will willingly seek out learning opportunities and challenges. You will be like a warrior when adversity does come your way. You will be prepared for any war, and with your strength of character, you'll be able to guide others through as well. And I'm going to finish with one of my favorite quotes. I learned that courage was not in the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Nelson Mandela.